Hi everyone, after a long time I'm back again. This is your Krishnendu Sir and I'm coming live from ICE Academy. So today it's a very important session because 14 June WBCS prelims is coming and also CGL form fill up is going on, right? It's a miscellaneous and it doesn't matter what you are preparing for. Doesn't matter whether you are preparing for WBCS or SSC or PSC miscellaneous or in that matter any other exam. This chapter holds a special importance. The chapter we are going to discuss today is preposition, right? This is our topic, preposition. So today we are going to discuss the previous year questions from this chapter, and with that the rules we are going to discuss, because I always say this in the class that it doesn't matter how well you read this chapter. This chapter depends upon your practice. That means আমরা যদি রেগুলার প্র্যাকটিস না করি এই চ্যাপ্টারটাকে, রেগুলার কোয়েশ্চেন আনসার না দেখি, তাহলে কিন্তু প্রিপোজিশন আমাদের পক্ষে বা প্রিপোজিশন চ্যাপ্টারটা খুব টাফ হয়ে যায়। সেই জন্যই আজকে এই সেশনে আমরা ডিসকাস করব প্রিভিয়াস ইয়ার্সে যে কোয়েশ্চেন্সগুলো এসছে বা কীরকম টাইপের কোয়েশ্চেন্স আসছে 2024, 23, 2022 এই ইয়ারগুলোতে কীরকম কোয়েশ্চেন্স এসছে এসএসসিতে, টোটাল এগুলো আমরা আজকে ডিসকাস করব। তাই ডু জয়েন দ্য সেশন অ্যান্ড ডোন্ট ফরগেট টু লাইক দ্য সেশন, বিকজ whatever some anchor says, this is a free session, right? Because we are not going to charge you a dime, but you can acknowledge our effort by liking the session. That's why like the session and join it fast. Okay, so let's start our discussion today. This is your first question, spotting the error. Now in SSC you can get, now this is a question from 2022. Yes, this is a question from 2022. Now you can get a question like this where error spotting will be given or fill in the blanks. These two types of questions usually come in SSC examination, and we will deal with all these types of questions. But first, spotting the error. The hardworking supervisor accused his assistant for stealing the documents. Now what we'll do here, first we will discuss this question. Obviously I will provide you some time to complete this first, then we will discuss this question, and then we will discuss other prepositions or other words, other verbs that are similar to accused. এই accused এর মতো আরো কি ওয়ার্ড রয়েছে এবং সেগুলোর সাথে কি প্রিপোজিশন অ্যাড হয়, we are going to discuss all these things here, right? So I will provide you some time first. Just complete the question and then we will start discussion. Okay. So the hardworking supervisor accused his assistant. Now for that verb, this is the preposition used here. Accused এর সাথে আমরা এখানে কোয়েশ্চেনে for preposition use করা হয়েছে which is wrong, because you know appropriate preposition that is used with accused, it is of, not for. So the correct thing is option C holds the error. That means it should be accused of. Accuse of মানে কি কাউকে blame করা, right? So accuse of, that is the appropriate preposition. So C part of that sentence contains the error. Now let's see several other prepositions like this. So this is for guilt, blame and legal actions. তার মানে guilt, blame এবং legal action এর জন্য usually the words we use, and after that which prepositions are used, let's discuss it. Just like accuse of, these words deal with legal trouble, guilt and clearing someone's name. For example, first one, acquit of. Acquit of মানে কি being exonerated. For example, to formally clear someone of a legal charge. For that means suppose someone was accused of something, but now he has been acquitted of by the High Court, right? Now the court acquitted him of all the charges due to a lack of evidence. Now this is also a question from CGL. এই কোয়েশ্চেনটাও কিন্তু CGL এ এসেছে। তার মানে আমি accuse of এর সাথে সাথে আরেকটা ওয়ার্ড পেলাম acquit of. Acquit of মানে হচ্ছে being exonerated, ছাড়া পাওয়া। তো acquit এর সাথেও আমরা of preposition ইউজ করে থাকি। এছাড়া আর কি রয়েছে? convict of, to declare someone guilty, কাউকে guilty declare করা, আমরা বলি না যে convicted আসামি, so কাউকে guilty declare করা, that is also convict, and it is also followed by of preposition. Let's take an example. He was convicted of manslaughter. So convict, another word that is similar to accuse, also takes of preposition. তাহলে মনে থাকবে যদি আমরা accuse মনে করতে পারি, then the similar word is acquit of, তার মানে ছাড়া পাওয়া, then there is convict of, similar to accuse, and last one guilty of. Guilty of মানে কি feeling or being responsible for a misdeed. Now again there was a question from SSC CHSL with guilty. Let's take an example. The jury found her guilty of theft. So guilty, another word that takes of preposition. So here we have seen not one question but actually 4 questions. First accuse, that is followed by of preposition. Then acquit, being exonerated, that is also followed by of preposition. Then convict of, again and similar to accuse, takes of preposition, and last one guilty also takes of preposition. তাহলে এই লটে যেগুলো ছিল we discussed it all. আশা করি next time এরকম কোনো কোয়েশ্চেন এলে তোমাদের ভুল হবে না। Understood? Let's move forward. This is your second question, another error correction which has come in 2021 SSC CHSL. First answer it, then I will discuss. Okay, so despite of her best efforts she could not clear the competitive exam, right? Now look at here, despite of. Despite cannot be followed by a preposition, or in that matter no preposition. You cannot write despite of because it is wrong. You can use only despite, or you can use in spite of, because they both mean the same. দুটোরই সেম মানে, হয় আমরা despite ইউজ করব অথবা আমরা in spite of ইউজ করব. Now this comes from another category, words with no preposition, because from preposition you can get questions like appropriate preposition, you can get questions like words with different preposition, and then words with no preposition. That means some words are there which are usually not followed by any prepositions, but we use them. Obviously we make an error. So these words I will discuss it later. Some words, for example, another famous word and questions have come, enter. Usually what happened, we use into preposition with enter. আমরা যখন enter wordটা ইউজ করি, enter verbটা ইউজ করি, আমরা তখন ওর সাথে into preposition ইউজ করি, which is wrong, because enter cannot be followed by into preposition when it means an enclosed area. For example, if I say, suppose if I write the students look at the sentence, the students entered into the classroom in a hurry. Now the sentence is wrong. Why? Because look, I am talking about the classroom, again an enclosed area, so it cannot be followed by into preposition. I have to simply write the students entered the classroom in a hurry, then the sentence becomes correct. Abar suppose you are entering into a business venture with one of your friends. তোমরা কোনো বন্ধুর সাথে একসাথে মিলে একটা বিজনেস শুরু করতে চলেছো. In that case you can use into preposition, but whenever it means an enclosed area you cannot ever use into preposition with enter. মনে থাকবে এরকমই সিমিলার আরো কিছু ওয়ার্ড রয়েছে. Let's discuss this. The no preposition allowed group, that means the group or the group of words that is not followed by any preposition. First one, comprise of, which is wrong. You cannot use of preposition with comprise. If I say the book comprises of 10 chapters, obviously the sentence is wrong, because comprise isn't followed by any preposition. আমাকে কি বলতে হবে? Comprise, the book comprises 10 chapters. Or যদি if you are stubborn, no sir, I will use the preposition, in that case you can change the word. In that case you can write consist of. If you are adamant, if you are stubborn to use a preposition, therefore you can use consist of. So either you can use only comprise or you can use consist of, right? Next one, and very famous one, discuss about, and there is another one, describe about. These two words usually are followed by about preposition by us. আমরা যখন সেন্টেন্সে ইউজ করি আমরা about ইউজ করি, which is grammatically wrong. Discuss, describe, they cannot be followed by any preposition. We discussed about the matter, sentence is wrong. Simply we discuss the matter. সব থেকে বেশি কোয়েশ্চেন্স এসছে ডিসকাস এবং ডেসক্রাইব দিয়ে, কারণ these are very famous phrases which we use in our sentences, which is wrong. Number 3, resemble. Resemble এর সাথে আমরা কি ইউজ করি? আমরা with এবং to আমরা দুটো প্রিপজিশন ইউজ করি যেমন আমরা যদি বলি she resembles with her grandmother she resembles to her mother these are the sentences we use in our day to day life which are wrong because resemble cannot be followed by any preposition she resembles with her mother wrong simply আমাকে কি বলতে হবে she resembles her mother understood বোঝা গেছে next one emphasize on another one which is wrong emphasize cannot be followed by any preposition yes if you insist on using a preposition then you can say focus on you can say focus on but if you are using the very verb emphasize then it cannot be followed by any preposition the teacher emphasized on grammar wrong the teacher emphasized grammar understood এছাড়া আরো একটা বলে দিই preposition another preposition which we use wrongly that is cope up with another prepositional phrase that we use very wrongfully because cope up with this is wrong only is the cope with you also cannot say cope up for example if I say I cannot cope up with the changing situation sentence is wrong simply I have to say I cannot cope with the changing situation right cope up o noy cope up with o noy the correct one is cope with বোঝা গেল so these are from the no preposition allowed group let's move on to our next question he was now this is fill in the blanks a question from 2021 CHSL he was completely absorbed dash his book and didn't notice my entry চলো আনসার করো okay so he was completely absorbed dash his book and didn't notice my entry so the correct preposition you have to use is absorbed in right the correct preposition is absorbed in now let's find out similar word total involvement absorb maneta ki total involvement so there are some similar words that are also followed by in preposition look at the first one engrossed in mane ki completely occupied by something, যেটাকে আমরা বলি absorbed in, similarly engrossed in. For example, he was engrossed with his work when I called him. If I write this, because usually আমরা কি করি, we use with preposition with engross, which is wrong. You cannot use with preposition with engross because the correct preposition is engrossed in. So he was engrossed in his work when I called him. Similar one, indulge, another preposition which is followed by in. Indulge মানে কি, allowing oneself to enjoy the pleasure of something, often something bad. So they were found indulged in illegal gambling. Now this has come in SSC CPO exam. So indulge, that also is followed by in preposition, just like engrossed in, just like absorbed in. And last one, lost in. He sat by the window completely lost in his thought. That means he was absorbed in his thought. Look, all these words, they have a similar meaning, and but they also followed by a similar preposition, that is in. তাহলে absorbed না কি কি শিখলাম? Absorbed in, engrossed in, indulged in, lost in. Right? আর ভুল হবে না। তাহলে এইরকম কোনো কোয়েশ্চেন এলে I hope you will not make an error. Understood? Let's find out the next one. The old man succumbed dash his severe injuries in the hospital. CHSL 2023 এর question. চলো আনসার করো। Okay, let's discuss. তাহলে কি বলেছে? The old man succumbed dash his severe injuries in the hospital. আচ্ছা, what does this word mean? Succumb. Succumb means died. Okay, so it is always followed by the appropriate preposition to. তাহলে answer হবে the old man succumbed to his severe injuries in the hospital. That means he died in the hospital. Now, there are some similar words that have also come to your exam. For example, acha, what is the meaning? Meaning হচ্ছে yielding, surrendering or giving in. First one, yield to. Yield to means to give way to arguments, demands or pressure. That means you just lost the argument. The government refused to yield under. Yield under. This is usually used by us in a sentence. আমরা yield এর পর কি করি? Under use করি, which is again wrong. Yield cannot be used by under. The government refused to yield to the demands of the protesters. That means the protesters were demanding something and government refused to listen to it. Yield to মানে হচ্ছে মাথা ঝোকানো বা কোনো কিছুকে মেনে নেওয়া. So yield, that also is followed by two preposition. Next one, stoop to. to lower one's moral standards to do something low or base. Usually we use this prepositional phrase. For example, how but suppose here is a example is given. I never thought he would stoop to cheating in an exam. This is from SSC CGL. SSC CGL এই কোয়েশ্চেনটা এসে stoop দিয়ে, তাহলে আশা করি নেক্সট টাইম তোমাদের ভুল হবে না. stoop is also followed by 2, yield is also followed by 2, succumb is also followed by 2, and last one surrender to. The look, all these words they are close in meaning to succumb. succumb এর সঙ্গে এক মোটামুটি almost similar meaning, and they also are followed by 2 preposition. তাহলে surrender to means to give up completely to an enemy or opponent. অপোনেন্টের কাছে completely surrender করে দেওয়া. The rebels finally surrendered to the army. SSC CPO question. So we have learned four prepositions or 4 words with appropriate preposition. First one succumb to, number 2 yield to, number 2 stoop to, and number 4 surrender to. Right? All these words are similar in meaning and they are followed by the same preposition, that is to. Understood? Next question. The plane flew directly does the thick layer of clouds. SSC CPO question 2021. Okay, দেখো, the plane flew directly does the thick layer of clouds. First option, over. So obviously look at the sentence, flew directly does the thick layer of clouds. So the plane will not fly over the cloud. The sense is the plane is flying through the cloud. ক্লাউডের মধ্যে দিয়ে প্লেনটা যাচ্ছে. Am I audible? Just hold on a second. I think there was a problem. Yes, okay. Okay. So, hello, am I audible? Actually, there was a problem with the system and that's why the live got interrupted. But no worries, I'm back again. And we were discussing this question. The plane flew directly does the thick layer of cloud. So obviously you cannot use over because the plane does not fly over the cloud. Now the correct option is fly through, because through আমরা ইউজ করি যখন কোনো কিছুর মধ্যে দিয়ে যাচ্ছে. For example, there is a tunnel and the train runs through or is running through it. Now some of you can say that why not across, because through or across they look similar, but no, even though they mean similar, but there are differences between them. For example, suppose this is a river and you are crossing the river from this side to that side, that should be across. Across means crossing something, but here the question is the plane flew directly dash the thick layer of cloud. It is not crossing the cloud, it is going through it. Therefore through, that is your correct answer. And similar কিছু word আমরা দেখে নেব. Physical movement inside a medium. যখন কোনো কিছুর মধ্যে দিয়ে physical movement হচ্ছে তখন আমরা কি ইউজ করি? First example, pass through, যেটা আমরা ইউজ করলাম to move from one side of an opening or location to the other. The travelers had to pass across the dense forest. তারা ফরেস্টের মধ্যে দিয়ে যাচ্ছে, therefore we cannot use across, it should be pass through. Next one, wade through, to walk with effort through a thick substance like water, mud or a dense crowd. We are to wade through knee deep water after the heavy rain. তার মানে বৃষ্টি হওয়ার পর যে knee deep water তার মধ্যে দিয়ে হেঁটে হেঁটে যাচ্ছে, that should be wading through or wade through. And last one, pull through, to successfully recover from a serious illness. যেমন যদি আমরা SSC MTS এর question, the doctor is confident that the patient will pull through, that means the patient will recover from his illness, pull through. So these three, pass, wade and pull, they are also followed by through preposition. Clear? Let's follow our next question. This is CGL Tier 1 2022. So the state government has provided an exemption. Exemption means charge যেটাকে আমরা বলি, an exemption dash tax for the new startups. So the correct preposition, this is the 2022 question, SSC CGL Tier 1. So correct preposition is exemption from, not exemption with, exemption from. Now let's find out some similar preposition. Look, prevent from, তার মানে to stop something from happening. যেমন rain prevented us from going out, SSC CGL question, prevent. That is also followed by from preposition. Next one, abstain from or refrain from. মানে কি? To deliberately choose not to do something. That মানে you must abstain from drinking polluted water. You must have to abstain from drinking polluted water. So abstain from, refrain from. And last one, debar from or desist from. To officially exclude or stop someone from doing something. ওটাকে আমরা বলি debar বা desist. He was debarred from appearing in the examination due to cheating. That means officially excluded, officially debarred. So these prepositions, these words, these verbs also are also followed by from preposition. তাহলে কি কি শিখলাম আমরা? abstain from দেখলাম, prevent from দেখলাম, refrain from দেখলাম, debar from দেখলাম, desist from দেখলাম, and obviously the question exemption from. All these words, they are followed by from preposition. Again and again recapitulate these so that you won't make an error later when it will come in your exams, right? So the next question, this is also SSC CHSL 2022. Now, the question is, beware dash pickpockets when you travel on public transports. Usually, your confusions are with these two, beware from or beware of. Let me tell you, it is always beware of, not from. Beware of, that is the correct preposition. Now, let's find out some similar ones. Caution বা suspicion sense এ কি কি word আমরা use করি and তার সাথে which prepositions usually we use. First one দেখো, leery of or chary of মানে কি? Being cautious, wary or distrustful of something. Now this is a question from CGL. Investors are leery of putting money into unstable startup. That means they are very cautious of, they were very aware of. So these two words are equally important, leery of. Now it's a new word, right? And it means being cautious. So leery, chary, these words are also followed by your preposition, just like beware. Next one, suspicious of, having a feeling that something is wrong or dishonest. Usually কি হয়? The security guard was suspicious with his movement which is wrong. The correct preposition is of. তাহলে আমাকে বলতে হবে the security guard was suspicious of his movements. তাহলে suspicious, that is also followed by your preposition. Next one, apprehensive of, fearing that something bad or unpleasant will happen. Now this is also a CHSL question. She was highly apprehensive of the exam result. That means again he was in fear of his exam result. তাহলে এই যে ওয়ার্ডগুলো আমরা দেখলাম, ফার্স্ট ওয়ান leery of or chary of, next one suspicious of, next one apprehensive of, and obviously beware of. All these words, they're similar in meaning and they are followed by of preposition. আশা করি তোমাদের নেক্সট টাইম ভুল হবে না। চলো নেক্সট কোয়েশ্চেন আমরা দেখি। নাম্বার 8, কোয়েশ্চেন নাম্বার 8, MTS 2023 এর কোয়েশ্চেন এটা। Now this is a very important one. It hasn't only come in SSC examination. This question has repeatedly been asked in many examinations. For example, as per my knowledge, Group C last year কিন্তু এই good দিয়ে একটা question দিয়ে দিয়েছিল. So these types of questions are very important. Now usually what happens, judiciary last year judiciary exam এও এরকম question দিয়েছিল. So usually what happens now, the students they choose in option good in, and that's what we usually use when we write this in a sentence. But no, good is followed by at preposition when it means skill. When it means skill, you have to use at preposition, not in. At preposition you should be used. She is good at 3 foreign languages including Mandarin. Good at. But suppose if the question was something different. For example, suppose the question was now when these types of questions come, then you can use good in math exams, because that's not his skill. He is particularly good in a field, right? But when it means skill, then always good at. Clear? Understood? Let's find out some similar words. High skill and quickness er khetre, that means amra etake naam dite pari the talented group, right? For example, adept at. Adept mane ki skillful. First one দেখো adept at, highly skilled or proficient at something complex. Again another one দেখেছো proficient at, proficient এর সাথেও আমরা in বা at ইউজ করি, but the traditional English grammar says proficient should be followed by at. If you look this word up into your ChatGPT or Gemini, you will find proficient in. But remember, we don't follow the modern English. What you are reading, that follows the traditional grammar, and in traditional grammar, proficient at, good at, adept at, these words are followed by at preposition, not in. Remember that. So adept at, she is adept at handling difficult negotiations under pressure. SSC CGL এর question দেখো, she is adept at difficult negotiations under pressure. Adept, another word that is followed by at preposition. Next one, clever at or smart at. The young boy is exceptionally clever at inventing excuses. This is also from CHSL. তাহলে দেখো সিমিলার কতগুলো ওয়ার্ড তোমাদের পরীক্ষায় এসেছে, সেম ওয়ার্ড কিন্তু these are talented groups, adept at, clever at, smart at, good at, all these words they are related to your skills, they are related to skillful experiences, and they are followed by at preposition. Last one দেখো, another one, brilliant at. Our team captain is brilliant at formulating game strategies. Understood? তাহলে কতগুলো ওয়ার্ড আমরা দেখলাম? First one আমরা দেখলাম good at, and that is used in case of denoting our skill. Number one. Number two, adept at. Adept at means also skillful. Number three, clever or smart at. And number four, brilliant at. তাহলে এতগুলো ওয়ার্ডের সাথে আমাদেরকে at preposition ইউজ করতে হবে, রাইট? চলো নেক্সট কোয়েশ্চেন দেখি আমরা। দিস ইজ CGL 2025 এর কোয়েশ্চেন। আচ্ছা দেখো, the High Court categorically warned the industrial units dash polluting the river, directing immediate compliance dash environmental regulations. Now usually these types of questions come in your mains examination. Here you can clearly find two blanks are given and you need to choose two sets of prepositions for those blanks. The difference between SSC prelims and mains examination is obviously the mains examination is of advanced level than the prelims examination, and that's why these kinds of questions you will find in your mains examination. Now, so the correct answer would be here against and with. That means warned. This is followed by against preposition, and compliance is followed by with preposition. But here is a catch. Usually students, they make an error. They have some doubts over these two prepositions. Warn, against or about, right? Students often make errors. Which one should be used after warn? Warn এর পরে এই দুটো preposition এর কোনটা আমরা ইউজ করব? Let's clear it so that you can never make an error out of it. কখন আর যাতে ভুল না হয়। দেখো কোথায় আমরা against ইউজ করব আর কোথায় আমরা with নয়, কোথায় আমরা about ইউজ করব। You warn someone against doing a bad action, warned against. আচ্ছা এটা তো আনসার হলো। ওয়ার্ন এগেইনস্ট কখন ইউজ করে? ইউজড when advising someone not to do something. When you are advising someone not to do something, that should be warned against. For example, the teacher warned us against cheating. That means the teacher told us do not cheat. So this is warn against. That means we are abstaining from doing something illegal, right? In that case, warn against. But warn also takes about preposition when it means a danger, problem or risk. Suppose you are warning someone about an imminent danger, about an imminent housebreaking. In that case, warn about. The news warned people about the cyclone. So this is the danger which was coming into their way, and that's why warn about is used. তাহলে ক্লিয়ার হয়েছে? ওয়ার্ন এগেনস্ট আমরা ইউজ করব কখনো কাউকে যদি কোনো কিছু করতে বাধা দিচ্ছি, যেমন এখানে বলা হয়েছে দ্য টিচার ওয়ার্নড আস এগেনস্ট চিটিং ইন এক্সামস। ওয়ার্ন অ্যাবাউট আমরা ইউজ করব ইন অর্ডার টু ওয়ার্ন সামওয়ান অ্যাবাউট দ্য আপকামিং ডেঞ্জার্স, যে ডেঞ্জার্সগুলো আসছে, ডেঞ্জার্সগুলো আসছে সেখান থেকে কাউকে আমাকে তোমার ওয়ার্ন করার হলে আমাকে ওয়ার্ন অ্যাবাউট ইউজ করতে হবে। তাহলে আর কখনো ভুল হবে না আশা করি। ওয়ার্ন এগেনস্ট, ওয়ার্ন অ্যাবাউট। চলো মুভ করি আমরা নেক্সট কোয়েশ্চেনে। কোয়েশ্চেন নাম্বার 10. This is SSC CGL 2025. Very good question. Chalo answer karo. চলো দেখি কি বলেছে। After hours of intensive deliberation, the committee finally decided dash the proposal to restructure the organization. এই যে decide, that verb decide, that verb is usually followed by two prepositions, either on or upon. And remember this, wherever you are using on preposition you can use upon, and wherever you are using upon preposition you can use on. That means depend usually is followed by depend on or depend upon. Now in these options obviously on option is not there, therefore you have to use depend upon. Clear? Now এর মতো আর কি কি প্রিপোজিশন রয়েছে দেখো। depend on or upon, rely also means depend and it is also followed by on or upon. Insist also followed by on or upon. We usually say insist on, but whenever you do not find on preposition, you know upon should be used. Focus on or upon. So just like depend on or upon, just like depend on or depend upon, there are four other words: decide upon, rely upon or upon, insist on or upon and focus on or upon. So all these words they should be followed by on or upon preposition, right? I hope you never make this mistake. যখনই এই ওয়ার্ডগুলো আমরা পাবো মাথার মধ্যে চলে আসবে আচ্ছা স্যার বলেছিলেন they are followed by on or upon preposition. এইভাবেই কিন্তু প্রিপোজিশনস গুলোকে তোমাদের মনে রাখতে হবে, otherwise there is no other shortcut. কোনো শর্টকাট নেই কিন্তু। either you have to continuously practice these prepositions, these questions or similar questions, or you have to go through the sessions so that the discussion enters your mind, so that it will help you when you are taking an exam. Understood? Chalo Next one, question number 11. Question number 11, তাড়াতাড়ি করো। দেখো, this is a question from SSC CPO 2024. The ambitious infrastructure project had to be abandoned dash a stark lack of consensus among the marginalized communities. Now you have two direct prepositions and two prepositional phrases. তোমার কাছে যে অপশনগুলো রয়েছে, দুটো অপশন রয়েছে ডিরেক্ট প্রিপজিশন থেকে এবং দুটো অপশন রয়েছে প্রিপজিশনাল ফ্রেজ থেকে। আচ্ছা, এখানে যে অপশনটা আমরা ইউজ করব তার আগে আমরা একটু ডিসকাশনটা দেখে নিই। দেখো, অন অ্যাকাউন্ট অফ মানেটা কি? অন অ্যাকাউন্ট ইজ ফাংশন অ্যাজ আ কম্পাউন্ড প্রিপজিশন মিনিং because of. On account of means because of. Now look at the question again. The ambitious infrastructure project had to be abandoned. তাকে তোমার ছেড়ে দিতে যেতে হয়েছিল কেন? On account of a stark lack of consensus among the marginalized communities. That means the marginalized communities, they didn't give their consent, and that's why because of that the infrastructure project had to be abandoned. So the correct prepositional phrase you must use here is on account of. This is your appropriate preposition here. Now এরকম কিছু prepositional phrase আমরা এখানে দেখে নেব, যেমন ধরো in accordance with, এইরকম যত আছে দেখো, along with, together with, including with, in accordance with the normal preposition, but these are called prepositional phrases. In accordance with মানে কি? In agreement or conformity with a rule, law or request. তার মানে কোনো রুল বা লতে আমরা যদি এগ্রি করছি, it should be called in accordance with. For example, the building was constructed in accordance with the approved blueprint. তার মানে যে ব্লুপ্রিন্টটা ছিল সেই ব্লুপ্রিন্টটাকে ফলো করে the building was constructed, and that's why in accordance with, that prepositional phrase has been used. Next one, in compliance with মানে কি? কোঅপারেটিং অর ওবেইং আ কমান্ড, একটা কমান্ডকে ওবে করা অর কোঅপারেট করা। যেমন in compliance with safety standards, all factory workers must wear helmets. So in compliance with, that is used at the beginning of the sentence and it works like a preposition. Last one, in lieu of, very important because question এসছে SSC CPO তে এসছে in lieu of মানে কি? Basically instead of, যেটাকে আমরা বলি instead of কে in lieu of, in a very formal English in lieu of is used, means instead of. He accepted a higher equity share in lieu of a monthly cash bonus. That means instead of a monthly cash bonus, he accepted a higher equity share. So these are, there are many other prepositional phrases also, but obviously some of them have been explained here. So মাথায় রেখো তোমরা যে these are called prepositional phrases and questions often come from them. Understood? Let's move forward with our question number 12. That is again from SSC CGL 2025 and এটা মেন্স এর কোয়েশ্চেন। যারা তোমরা অনলাইন করছো, don't forget to press the like button, don't forget it, because that's what we get. We are not charging you, even if some anchors are accusing us of doing so, but we are not charging a dime. What we want, that you get a job, you get settled in your life, and if you get a job with our help, then that's all we want. We don't want, and therefore you must have to click the like button so that the video আরো অনেকের কাছে পৌঁছতে পারে এবং তাদের এক্সাম বা তাদের যারা এক্সাম কম্পিটিটিভ এক্সামে পড়াশোনা করছে তাদের কাছে পৌঁছতে পারে এবং তাদেরকে হেল্প করতে পারে। ওকে, চলো, তোমরা বোধহয় দেখতে পাচ্ছ না? নাও ইটস ক্লিয়ার। আনসার ইট ফাস্ট। চলো দেখি। The autobiography of the veteran freedom fighter is rich dash inspiring anecdotes from the struggle for independence. But what is the meaning of anecdotes? Anecdotes means a short story about some real event or about some real thing of a person. তাকে আমরা বলি anecdote. A very short story which is true. A very short true events about someone or about someone's life. So এখানে কি বলেছে? The autobiography of that veteran freedom fighter is rich dash inspiring anecdotes from the struggle for the independence. Now your options are in, off, upon, across. Always know that rich is always followed by in preposition. Rich in, that means here in preposition should be used. The autobiography of the veteran freedom fighter is rich in inspiring anecdotes, that means inspiring true stories. Now এই রিচ ইন এর মতোই দেখো রিচ ইন টুইন্স, তার মানে রিচ ইন এর মতো আর কি রয়েছে দেখো, অ্যাবাউন্ড ইন রয়েছে, ফার্টাইল ইন রয়েছে। অ্যাবাউন্ড ইন মানে কি? অ্যাবাউন্ড ইন মিনস টু এক্সিস্ট ইন লার্জ নাম্বারস অর অ্যামাউন্টস, তাকেই আমরা বলি অ্যাবাউন্ড ইন। something that exists in large number, তাকে আমরা বলি abound in. Let's find a question, let's find an example. The coastal waters of India abound in exotic marine life. This is SSC CGL এর question. The coastal waters of India abound in exotic marine life. তাহলে similar to আমরা যেটা দেখলাম তোমার রিচ ইন এর মতোই হচ্ছে অ্যাবাউন্ড ইন অ্যান্ড দে অলমোস্ট মিনস দ্য সেম নেক্সট ওয়ান ফার্টাইল আমরা জানি প্রডিউসিং অ্যাবান্ডেন্স মানে প্রচুর অ্যাবান্ডেন্স or rich in ideas যেমন his mind is exceptionally fertile in creative solutions to complex problems তাহলে all of these that means rich in abound in fertile in when they mean similar or they are similar words and therefore they are followed by in prepositions understood তাহলে যখনই আমরা rich পাবো we know in preposition should be used abound again means similar in preposition should be used and fertile again means similar will be followed by in preposition clear chalo next question number 13 SSC CPO 2024 okay now he felt incredibly aggrieved dash the unfair decision of the management committee aggrieved মানে কি aggrieved means basically angry so he felt incredibly angry or aggrieved dash the unfair decision of the management committee now aggrieved there may be a confusion of what should I use with or by always remember aggrieved is followed by preposition aggrieved by so the correct preposition should be aggrieved by this is CPO 2024 now to be aggrieved by something means to feel resentment or be wronged by an action aggrieved by মানে যেটা বললাম যে to feel resentment to feel angry now এরকম যত ওয়ার্ড রয়েছে যে upset or wronged by an action group কি বলছে first one abused by মানে কি মানে হচ্ছে feeling embarrassed or disconcerted or ashamed by an event the young presenter was completely abused by the certain criticism from the panel SSC CGL এর question দেখো similarly aggrieved by এর মতোই abused by means when you are feeling embarrassed ওটাকে আমরা বলি abused and this is also followed by preposition next one plagued by মানে কি continually troubled plagued means basically troubled or distressed the expansion project has been plagued by constant bureaucratic delays SSC CPO question this is a question from now this one is SSC CGL this one is SSC CPO তাহলে বুঝতে পারছো কেমন ভাবে কোশ্চেনস গুলো আসছে যে অরিজিনাল কোশ্চেনটা ছিল that was from CPO 2024 aggrieved but with that there were another two questions first one is with abused by next one is plagued by তাহলে এই যে aggrieved by abused by plagued by similar words similar prepositions তাহলে যখন যদি আমি একটা মনে রাখি তার সাথে বাকি দুটো আমাদের মনে থাকবে আবার বলছি aggrieved by abused by and plagued by মনে থাকবে তাহলে চলো নেক্সট কোশ্চেন আমরা মুভ করি question number 14 CGL sorry CHSL 2025 এর question ওকে দেখো কি বলেছে, দ্য স্ট্রিক্ট হেডমাস্টার ওয়াজ নোটেড অ্যাজ বিং স্পেয়ারিং ড্যাশ প্রেজ ইভেন ওয়েন স্টুডেন্টস পারফর্মড এক্সেপশনালি ওয়েল। CHSL 2025 question. Now what is the meaning of sparing, but what is the meaning of this sentence? Sparing, the meaning that comes out from the sentence is even though the students performed well, the headmaster does not praise them, right? That is the meaning that comes out from this sentence. Now always remember, sparing, that is followed by with preposition. Similarly, sparing with means economical with. তার মানে যতই তারা ভালো মার্কস আনুক না কেন, হেডমাস্টার কখনো তাদেরকে প্রেজ করে না, অ্যাজ ইফ হি ইজ ইকোনমিক্যাল উইথ হিজ প্রেজ। ক্লিয়ার? সো দ্য কারেক্ট প্রিপজিশন ইজ sparing with. Now similar words just like sparing, first one frugal with. Frugal মানে হচ্ছে যে careful or economical, usually with money. When someone, if someone spends meagerly, then you can call it, or you can call him a frugal or economical. যে টাকা খরচা করতে পারেন, আমাদের মধ্যে থাকে না, বন্ধু বান্ধবদের মধ্যে থাকে যে কেউ একজন অলওয়েজ অন্য কোনো বন্ধু তার পে করছে, তার মানে টাকা খরচা করতে চায় না, আমরা তাদেরকে কিপচে বলি। সিমিলারলি দ্যাটস হোয়াট in English it means frugal, that means economical, sparing. So frugal, it is also followed by with preposition. To stay under budget, they had to be very frugal with their monthly spending, that means economical with their monthly spending. Next one, economical with, using something in a smart and non-wasteful way. As a writer, she is incredibly economical with her words. এই যে দেখো, economical with. As a writer, she is incredibly economical with her words. That means she doesn't want to use much words or many words when she is describing something. Next one, stingy with. মানে কি? Unwilling to give or spend. Again similar to economical, similar to frugal, similar to sparing. A slightly more negative way, don't be so stingy with the details, tell me what happened. That means don't be so stingy with your detail, don't be so unwilling to share your details. তাহলে তিনটে ওয়ার্ড আমরা দেখলাম with sparing with, economical with, frugal with, and last one stingy with. All are used in a similar way, they all mean the same. Clear? তাহলে এই যে লটটা আমাদের যে কোশ্চেন আসুক না কেন আমরা নেক্সট টাইম ভুল করব না। চলো আজকে লাস্ট কোশ্চেন নাম্বার 15, SSC CGL Tier 2 2012 এর কোশ্চেন। হি কমপ্লিমেন্টেড হার ড্যাশ হার নিউ ড্রেস। লাস্ট কোয়েশ্চেন, চলো আনসার আসুক তাড়াতাড়ি। চলো দেখি কি বলেছে। হি কমপ্লিমেন্টেড। আচ্ছা, ওয়ান মোর থিং, লুক অ্যাট দ্য স্পেলিং অফ কমপ্লিমেন্ট হিয়ার। COMPLIMENT, complement means praise, right? So when I is there, it means praise, but there is another complement, but we will go there later. First, he complimented her dash her new dress. So compliment, that is always followed by on prepositions. He complimented her on her new dress, right? Never about, complimented her on her new dress. Let's find out similar words. Compliment on. Give a compliment on a feature, a compliment to a person. যখন আমরা কোনো কিছু ফিচারের ওপর কাউকে কমপ্লিমেন্ট দিচ্ছি, then it will be followed by on. When আমরা কোনো পারসনকে কমপ্লিমেন্ট দিচ্ছি, it will be followed by to. Just like compliment, similar like compliment, there is also congratulate. Congratulate is also followed by on. Just like compliment, you congratulate someone on their success. We must congratulate him on his promotion. So compliment on something, compliment to someone, congratulate is also followed by on preposition. Now what I was talking about, there is another word, complement, complement. This complement is followed by to preposition, complement to. Here this complement means something that completes and it is followed by to preposition. তাহলে একটা হচ্ছে complement, that is followed by on preposition. Another one is complement, something that completes, that is followed by to preposition. One more thing, similarly দেখো কমপ্লিমেন্টের সাথে আরো একটা ওয়ার্ড আমরা ইউজ করি, praise. That is also followed by on preposition. দেখো same, compliment on, praise on, congratulate on, similar words, similar prepositions. This will help you to remember these prepositions. আবার বলছি, this chapter is very important if you are preparing for competitive exams, because there is no exam without this chapter. You just simply cannot exclude this chapter. যদি মনে হয় যে না প্রিপোজিশনটা আমার হচ্ছে না, আমি এই চ্যাপ্টারটাকে বাদ দিয়ে দেবো, that cannot happen, because you know PSC miscellaneous is coming, and believe me when I say from preposition chapter you will get at least 3 to 4 questions, either fill in the blank or error correction. So that's why, and WBCS is also coming, you will get 2 to 3 questions from preposition chapter. So this chapter is very important and that's why it needs your attention, right? যত পারবো বা যত পারো কোয়েশ্চেন্স প্র্যাকটিস করো তোমরা। যে সেশনটা এলো যে সেশনটা চলছে, প্লিজ কমেন্ট মি how was the session, whether you guys liked it or not, and where are the areas we need our improvement. Please suggest me the ways, right? Comment me and also go through the session again. যেখানে যেখানে ডাউট রয়েছে, আশা করেছি বা আশা করছি I have cleared those doubts in this session. Until we will meet again in the next session with another new video. Thank you guys.